can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Like, how did you become a non-feminist woman? And yeah, tell me about you.
Um, I think that, so I was raised pretty traditionally, and I think that probably had a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just the typical Christian home down in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And for me, like, I think as a teen and as like a young adult, I kind of tried to rebel from that, for a while.
Yeah.
And like it just wasn't working. So, but I noticed that when I went back to a more traditional mentality, like my life just seemed to get easier.
Yeah. Okay. So, what are your views on patriarchy? On the word patriarchy?
So, like, for me, basically, I guess what it is I think that I believe there was a point where feminism was needed, and like we weren't being valued as women and all that, but like I think that time has passed, and I think that modern feminists, they try to hate men more than they try to build them up and encourage them, and I think that like basically the patriarchy, like we need to work on building our men up and supporting them, and we don't need to tear them down and just focus on their wrongdoings.
Right.
And I feel like they've kind of taken that partnership and
yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah, I understand.
They're trying to make it like it's not a partnership anymore.
Right, to separate women
and
men.
Has been a partnership. Like, I believe that men play on their strengths, which just happen to be more physical, and and we as women, like, we play on our strengths, like we're caretakers and we're nurturing and
yeah. Okay, so
like there's just we were created that way.
Right. So what are your views on traditional gender roles then?
So like for example, in my relationship, I do a lot of the cooking and stuff like that, and he provides. I don't have to worry about things.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't have to go out all day and come home and still try to figure out what's for dinner and trying to hurry up and get my kids ready
and you're grateful for this type of help, and you would say you're grateful for this help, and you see it as a help and not really as a burden that feminists might present staying at home as a burden, but in reality for you it's something that actually makes your life easier.
Yeah, like I've gone out and I've joined the workforce and I felt like I missed out on time with my daughter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't miss out on that time. And honestly, like I would rather be the one raising my daughter instead of a daycare.
Right. But in today's society, you pretty much can't always do that because society is structured the way it is now because most women work.
Yeah.
So you're expected to work, so you can't But okay, not for YouTube. I was gonna ask how old your kids are, but no. It doesn't matter.
I've got a 5-year-old, 3-year-old, and a 2-year-old.
Okay. So you have okay. So you have a lot of kids and you're in that stage of life where you're completely busy with kids. This is okay.
Like if I was in the I am in the workforce still, but it's less hours than him, and
yeah.
Like
okay. You are in the workforce, okay.
But I like people to like get them from school and ask them how their day was, and
yeah. So that is a sort of modern traditional gender role structure because the woman always helped the man in any case, but in this case you're helping, but you're at home, and that is Okay, I see that. Yeah, I also agree personally that this has a lot of value for children and society to have someone at home with the kids. And in most cases, it's going to be women because we are pregnant and you have to breastfeed anyway. So with things like that, I mean, you don't have to breastfeed. I mean, you're pregnant and most likely breastfeed.
Like, people don't talk about the cost of daycare and how expensive it is these days.
Right, that can save.
In my area is about $700, $800 a month.
Right, and also there are ways to financially contribute from home, whether it's the fact that you try to save money. Like, for example, if 2 people are working, maybe you can't go buy a secondhand sofa as easily. Who knows,
Yeah.
You might save money with your time by being able to research and find something much cheaper. You might save money by not having, there are ways to that being at home saves money through daycare, through not having extra transport costs, through not whatever.
Yeah.
It depends on the person, right? It depends on the relationship and the person and the situation, right?
Absolutely. Every situation is different, and sometimes, like, I think it would be great if we could all stay home, but society doesn't work that way anymore.
Right. Okay, yeah, of course, society doesn't work, so we can't. And of course, some people don't want to stay home. And I don't want to tell other people what to do if they want to. If you are a woman
Yeah.
who wants to work, or if you're a man who wants to stay at home, that's all fine. But it's not
Yeah.
that the traditional way has no value. There is some sort of value to it. It came from somewhere, and it
Yeah.
came. Yeah.
But I think that women against feminism get like a bad rap because like people just think that we want to hate on their lifestyle, but really in reality I think that it's the other side. They don't want, like, they feel like we're oppressed.
Right. The
We're
people,
not.
yeah,
We just want to have the freedom to make the same decisions as them. If they want to go be career oriented women in the workforce, like, more power to them.
right. But of course, the problem is that at some point we do affect each other. So, I mean,
Yeah.
at some point when too many people do it this way, then it becomes impossible. Because, for example, you could look at housing prices and say, well, actually, with the cost of everything, two people have to work in order to make things function. Because women are working, now two people have to work. So, yeah, we do affect each other. And it's really difficult to imagine how that balance could be created. But I mean, it's still important for people who have families and who see value in traditional gender roles to say, hey, this is important to us. I don't know how this is going to work, but it's important to us. We depend on this. We have a family, and this is how we need this
This is
system.
how.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, because it can easily be forgotten that this also, okay, I guess I sound a bit stupid saying that, because they will say, actually, no, y'all are the majority, so y'all can't be forgotten. That can be. I don't know what the statistics are totally on that, but I mean,
Right.
yeah, we affect each other. The point is, both sides have value. I agree. If you are a woman
Yes.
who wants to work, you can go out and work. If you are a man who wants to stay at home, you can find a woman who wants that and do that. Or there should be room for diversity. But within that
Yes.
diversity, we have to remember that families can depend on this sort of traditional gender role. And it makes sense because women, the reason we more likely than men would stay home is because of breastfeeding and stuff like that. They're physical reasons,
Yeah.
because of being pregnant and breastfeeding and stuff. It just made more sense. That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on MRAs, men's rights activists?
On MREs,
Mm-hmm.
could you define that for
Oh,
me?
men's rights activists. These are men who are typically, and they are like the opposite of feminists. Often they claim, I'm not saying all men's rights claim this, because I know it's completely a diverse group of people as well. But I know that
Right.
often they claim that men are the ones who are more oppressed than women, or that it's
I
split.
think there are certain
Yeah.
cases where men are more oppressed than women. Like, I think you see that a lot in family court.
Mm-hmm.
I live in what they call a mother state.
Mm-hmm.
And basically that means that when it goes to court, I've seen a lot of cases where they just side with the woman just because she's mom.
Right. Okay.
And so, like, I could see where, like, men would feel the need to protest that.
Right. So there are men's groups out there and they protest. Okay. What is your view on being called a pick-me woman?
Well, I mean, the way I feel about that is, like, I've had guys who disagree. My boyfriend, for example, like, I would say he kind of runs a bit more on the feminist route, and he was raised by a single woman, and you know, and like, so like, I would say that I don't think we're necessarily doing it just to gain male approval, because there's plenty of males who don't approve.
Right. Okay. Okay. Thanks for, yeah, interviewing with us. And
absolutely. So good meeting you.
okay. And meeting you as well. Okay. Have a good night. I mean,
You too.
evening. I don't know, morning. Have a good.
All right.
Bye. Yeah.
Here. All
Okay.
right. Bye.